Thank you very much. You know, if I were to thank everybody who deserves to be thanked, everyone standing up here and most of you in the audience, I would far exceed my allotted time. So I want to thank the people of Minnesota who supported this legislation, and I respect the people who didn't. You have a perfect right to your own view, but I'm proud of those who can't step forward and said, you know, this is what makes Minnesota special. These bills involve major public investments, are understandably controversial. They're hotly debated, they're closely inspected, as they should be. That's democracy, and that's Minnesota. But I'm glad that in this case, as in many others, at that moment of truth, at that critical juncture, the most difficult point in the process, when the benefits are still conceptual and the cost is very real, the majority of the Minnesota legislature stepped forward, both the House and the Senate, and said, we will. We can do this, we will do this, and this is what makes Minnesota special. You know, the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area is one of only 12 in the country which has all 4 major league sports teams for men: football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. The other 11 are all larger in population than Minneapolis-St. Paul. And of course, the teams are supported avidly by people throughout Minnesota, even people throughout the upper Midwest. So they know, we know, that being special, being extraordinary, being great is not a given. As John Houseman would say, we do it the old-fashioned way. We earn it. We earn it through our hard work. We earn it through dedicated people. We earn it through committed businessmen and labor leaders and others who work together to make this project successful, and we're very grateful to the Wilfs for their contribution, without which this team would not be in Minnesota. So thank you all very much, and it's my honor to sign it. Counts against my allotted time. Counts against my allotted time. I want to thank you for being respectful while I was talking, and ask you please extend the same consideration to our other speakers. But thank you very much. And again, I honor your right to be here. This is the rotunda of our democracy in the state of Minnesota. So I'll now sign the bill, and then we'll continue with other remarks. wait until you've had your say. Okay, I got that. I'm going to have to proceed, despite the few that are going to disrupt the program evidently. So let me introduce the Senate author, one of the few legislative superheroes in this whole endeavor, State Senator Julie Rosen.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate this. You know, there's that suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Well, I think I'm suffering from post-stadium stress syndrome right now. So I had a chance to go back home to Colorado and visit my mom and the kids and all my relatives and had a chance to reflect. And I really sat back and I realized what this bill provides and what this bill means. And it provides hope. Hope to this entire state, not only about jobs, and that's very, very important, jobs, to get people back to work. Well, we don't care what union jobs are, they're jobs, and that's what it's all about. So I am so happy to be involved with this bill. I reread the emails that have come forward, and I wish you had a chance to read some of these emails that were sent, heartfelt emails, from people that have never had a reason or they just didn't feel the need to get involved with the legislative process. And there were some great stories about not only why it's important to save the Vikings, but why it's important to keep this state moving forward. And that's what we did. I feel very, very good about it. I also felt very good at the hope that we can work together here, folks. We should be very proud of this bill because it was a bipartisan bill. And I want to thank all my colleagues for working on this together. I had the wingmans out there. They all know who they are. And Senator Ingebrigtsen couldn't be here. He was a wonderful guy and my backup too, and all the leadership. And it's very, very important. So when you start thinking about what's in the best interest of the state, we did it. We did it. And it's very important. So I want to thank... So I want to say, let's celebrate this achievement. Let's celebrate this achievement because we did good. We moved this state forward, and now the real work begins, folks. Thank you.
And now the other legislative superhero, the House author, Representative Maury Lanning.
We did it. With the governor signing this bill, we celebrate that success. But we also need to remember what brings success. I'm a former football player who had an extraordinary team that we went to work and had good teamwork and won a national championship. And I know what it takes to win, to succeed. It needs a lot of people working together. And that's what we've had in this whole effort. We've had some extraordinary people who have been players to make this happen. First, the owners. I cannot thank the Wilfs enough for the extraordinary investment that they have made in Minnesota. I can't thank the governor enough for his steadfast leadership, unwavering leadership, and the help of his staff. We've said all along that we need a local partner, a local unit of government that would be a partner in this effort, and Minneapolis stepped up. And thanks to the exceptional leadership of Mayor Ryback and Council President Johnson, they are a partner. And a special thank you to the Metropolitan Sports Facilities Commission, its chair, Ted Mondale, Craig Skeim, and Kathleen Lamb for their extraordinary work in helping us put this deal together. And then I want to thank my partner, a Senate author, Julie Rosen. I can't think of someone who would be a better partner in trying to get this done. Thank you, Senator. And I want to thank our Senate and House colleagues who have been a part of a bipartisan work group. We've been working for many months trying to put this deal together. Would you please stand? Members of that work group. And I want to thank the leadership in the House and the Senate for the actions of support that they took and for their enabling us to move this bill to a final vote. Thanks to them. And I want to thank the lobbying team of folks that have worked very closely with us, working with legislators, trying to build support. Thanks to them. And thanks to all of our colleagues in the House and the Senate, the majority of both the House and the Senate that voted to build this new stadium. We've had a coalition of people trying to get this done, and no better example of business and labor working together to do something good for the state of Minnesota. Thanks to them. And thanks to the media. And I'm sorry to all of our friends in the media, you're not going to have as much to write about or talk about anymore. I've said all along, I'm waiting to get this issue out of the front page, off the front page and out of the headlines, and now that'll be the case. What the media has done for us is to help educate the public about this, and I cannot believe the support that we've had from people throughout the state of Minnesota. I've never seen any support like it for any other issue. Thanks to them. Thanks to all of these players. Folks, it takes a team of players like we've had here to get something extraordinary done. Thanks to all of them.
Well, they're not done writing or putting it on the front page yet, because now the ball goes to the leaders of the city of Minneapolis. We're very grateful to the members of the city council who are here. Could those stand to be recognized? Minneapolis City Council? Or maybe they're already up here. They were over here before. And also the president of the Minneapolis City Council, Barb Johnson. And she made a great team with Mayor Ryback to steer this through, hopefully, knock on wood, the city of Minneapolis labyrinth. And now we wish you all the best. So, Mayor Ryback.
Thanks, guys. When you take your kids to the Science Museum, when you take your kids to a park or a library, when you go with your friends to a Wild game or to a Twins game at Target Field, you don't often stop to think about what it took to get those buildings there. But every one of those buildings that you see Every big building that we have where we come together has been built with controversy and with an amazing coalition. None of those places where we come together came easily for us. And yet the easiest thing for us, the Minnesotans, to do is actually to find ways to cross boundaries, find common ground, and make sure that we as one people have great places to come together. People will look back on this time and probably remember very little about what happened in this building, but a lot about what happened to their kids at that Viking game, to their family when they came together, to see a pro soccer game when it was here or a concert. But more than anything else, we said that in great times, Minnesotans found a way to come together, not just on the field, but hopefully even more in our politics to come. Thank you to the amazing legislative leaders, Senator Rosen and Representative Lanning, and a governor who led the working group. Thank you all to business and labor. We've come together, and let's keep doing it. Thank you very much.
And now the two supermen of the moment who confidentially promised me in the reception room that not only would they bring a Super Bowl to Minnesota, they'd bring a Super Bowl championship to Minnesota. Ziggy and Mark Wilfs.
This is a great day for Minnesota, a great day for the Vikings fans throughout the entire country. I read a newspaper article the other day after the approval and said that the fun begins. But let me tell you, the hard work begins now. To build this stadium will take everyone's efforts. This will be a team effort as it was to get it approved. I look forward to working with every one of you to making this a truly great stadium for all the fans and for everybody in Minnesota. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank the governor, the legislative leaders, labor and business, and especially the people of Minnesota for coming together. And we promise you that we will work together to build a first-class facility, one that we can all be proud of for generations to come. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you all very much for being here. Now we have one last thing to do. Let's build it.